Hey loves, welcome to back. My name is Sarah, and I'm so happy to have you here. If you're new, I'm thrilled to welcome you, and if you're already subscribed, welcome back. Before we begin tonight's reading, just a quick note: if you're interested in booking a personal reading with me or joining our Patreon community, all the details can be found in the description box below. Tonight's reading is a no-contact message from your person. We'll be exploring how they're feeling about you, how they currently view your connection, and the most important messages they have for you regarding their mental and emotional state. I'll be pulling from this deck, so let's dive in. There's a strong masculine energy coming through, a soul that seems restless, as if there's something urgent they need to say. However, there appears to be an energetic block between you, creating tension. Your person has tried to suppress these feelings before, but it's no longer working. Their soul is urging them to face the truth, making them feel vulnerable and conflicted. They're deeply concerned about how you feel, possibly due to past actions or the way they've communicated. There are a lot of repressed emotions and mixed signals coming through. Some of you may have even confronted them directly, but their response was unclear. It's almost as if their words said one thing while their energies told a different story. This misalignment has caused confusion, and their energy feels restricted, like they're not fully open with you. This internal struggle is likely keeping them up at night, caught between what their heart wants and what their mind tells them to do. Their avoidance isn't for the reasons you might think. It seems they're struggling to express something deeply personal, something they never thought they'd need to share, or perhaps even intentionally kept hidden. They may have believed they were doing a good job concealing it, but you, as the divine feminine, have sensed the gaps. You've likely felt that something wasn't adding up, that this was information they should have willingly shared rather than something you had to ask about. This truth is deeply tied to their personal journey and to your connection. It's affecting how they communicate and show up in this relationship. Right now, they're consumed with thoughts of you and the weight of what they need to reveal. Their energy feels constrained, as if they're holding back, which could explain any emotional distance or tension you've been feeling. Stay tuned as we continue uncovering their messages. Let's pull more cards and see where this energy leads. It feels like you've been trying to get answers, perhaps asking questions, but underneath it all, there may be frustration or even resentment. Deep down, you may feel that this isn't something you should have to ask about. It's something they should willingly express. The masculine energy coming through appears stoic, seemingly unaffected on the surface, but this situation weighs on them heavily, especially at night. During the day, they stay busy, constantly moving, trying to distract themselves. But when they're alone, they find no peace. Their soul is pushing them to address something significant. If you've been wondering what they feel while you're apart, know that they're overwhelmed with thoughts of you, specifically with the need to share a personal truth. Moving into the next message, there's a strong sense of regret. They owe you an apology, and deep down, they know it. When they first met you, they didn't fully grasp what they were stepping into or how to handle your energy. In the process, they may have mishandled you or this connection, leaving you confused, especially if their actions seemed sudden or unexplainable. Now, they're fully aware of their mistakes. They've realized how their behavior has affected you, and their heart is heavy with regret. At the time, they didn't consider the impact of their actions, but now they can't ignore it. Their soul won't let them rest until they make things right. For those who are currently at a distance from their person, you might be left wondering why things happened the way they did. You may have felt like everything was going well. There was a strong mutual connection, and the energy between you two was aligned. Then suddenly, something changed. Their behavior shifted, and they may have pulled away without explanation, ignored your attempts to get clarity, or distanced themselves in a way that left you questioning everything. The frustration isn't just about their choice to step back. It's about how they handled it. You value honesty and authenticity, so if they had been upfront about their struggles or their need for space, you would have understood. Instead, they made a decision that left you out of the equation. Whether they ghosted, ran away, or simply created distance, it likely made you feel unacknowledged. Things could have faded naturally, but it feels like something is missing, like you never really got the full story. That stands out because right now, they have an overwhelming need to explain themselves. It's as if their soul won't let them rest until they do. If you're wondering how they're feeling about you, know that this is weighing on them deeply. It's affecting them on multiple levels, even disrupting their sleep. During the day, they manage to keep busy, but when they're alone at night, it's a different story. They're tossing and turning, unable to stop thinking about you. At one point, they were dreaming about you, but now those dreams have turned into sleepless nights. For you, this situation has also caused pain. You tried to brush it off, to let it go, but it left a mark. Lately, it seems like you've acknowledged this and started to heal, whether by talking about it, processing your emotions, or simply clearing your energy. That shift, they're feeling it. It seems like they, too, want to clear the air. What stands out is that this is someone who actively sought you out. The moment they met you, they knew they wanted you. That might explain why their current emotions are so intense and why they feel such a deep need to apologize. Before they even got to know you on a deeper level, they were already drawn to you. There was a strong physical attraction from the start. Your energy and presence were magnetic, and it's clear that hasn't faded. They still see you the same way. There's something rare and captivating about you, something that pulled them in. They may have even done or said things just to be close to you, drawn in by your energy. That's the power of divine feminine energy. It naturally attracts. This connection may have started quickly, full of passion and intensity. Maybe you shared an intimate bond, but something happened that left them unsettled. And that feeling is directly tied to how they treated you. This is someone who pursued you with intention, yet their actions didn't align with the care you deserved. Now, they're replaying those moments, reflecting on how they handled things. It's as if they're embarrassed by their behavior and frustrated with themselves. They regret the disconnect they caused, whether through their actions or words. It's clear they want a chance to make things right. They may have already tried reaching out, or will do so soon because their thoughts are consumed with the idea of apologizing. Right now, they feel a deep urge to explain themselves. They believe you deserve so much more than what they've given you so far. There's a strong sense of regret. especially about the way the no contact situation unfolded. It may have left you feeling like they didn't care, but the truth is, they care more than they're letting on, maybe even more than you realize. They wish you could truly understand the depth of their feelings, even if they haven't been able to express them directly. Another message coming through is that you don't know the real them. Deep down, you may have sensed something was off, like their energy didn't fully match what they were presenting. There seemed to be two very different sides to them, and if you could see how they're living now, it might feel like they're a completely different person. It's almost like they've been living a double life. One thing that stands out is the strong spiritual connection here. You, as the divine feminine, are deeply spiritual, and it feels like they approached you differently than they would with others. When they first met you, they didn't expect to feel this way. They thought they could navigate this connection the same way they had with past relationships. But your energy is unique. You live by a different set of spiritual principles, and that's something they didn't anticipate. They likely kept certain things hidden, not out of malice, but because they never expected to become so attached to you. They didn't realize how much your spiritual depth would affect them. You operate on a different level, one they weren't prepared for. At first, they may have presented themselves in a way they thought would appeal to you, but as they got to know you better, they realized just how intentional you are in the way you live your life. Your beauty may have drawn them in, but it's your energy, your depth, and your presence that truly captivated them. People are naturally attracted to you, not just because of how you look, but because of the way you carry yourself. You don't operate on a surface level. You lead from the heart. It seems like this person has always been protective of their energy, but when people get close, they start to peel back the layers. In their case, they may have realized that they weren't showing you their true self. They tried to match your energy, but once deeper conversations began, they knew they had been holding back. I sense fast, exciting conversations between you two, ones where they tried to keep up, but underneath they felt like you didn't truly know who they were. There's a chance they're still connected to certain lower energies or situations they believe you wouldn't accept if you knew the full story. They fear that if you had known everything from the start, you might not have even considered getting close to them. Yet, through your presence, you offered them a glimpse into a different way of living, a higher vibration. They wanted to match it, to rise to your level, but they struggled to maintain it. Right now, they're caught between two worlds. Lying awake at night, they realize they weren't completely honest with you, and they regret it. They know they should have given you the choice of how to move forward, instead of keeping parts of themselves hidden. You probably sense this too, moments where their energy felt inconsistent, where something didn't quite add up. At times, their energy was high and in sync with yours, and other times it dipped, leaving you uncertain. They're in a vulnerable place now, uncomfortable with the truths they've been avoiding. Maybe they feel embarrassed about how they presented themselves, especially now that they understand you're not just anyone. You're someone with a divine energy they may not have fully grasped before. Now, They're questioning how they can hold on to this connection, how they can keep you in their life. When you met, they weren't fully aligned with you. They were either trying to heal or trying to reach your level, but sustaining that energy has been their biggest challenge. They want this connection, but they're not sure how to hold on to it. The next thing they want to express is, "Please don't judge me." Right now, they're feeling vulnerable, maybe even embarrassed, and they fear that you might judge them for their past actions. However, this judgment is really about how they see themselves. They're projecting their own fears onto you and the connection. Something may have recently come between you two, perhaps a misunderstanding or an argument that's created distance. Now, they're stepping forward in this vulnerable state, hoping you'll understand. It feels like they're afraid of being judged for where they are on their journey, especially by the divine masculine. From the divine feminine energy I'm connecting with, I sense that you're very clear about your path and purpose, even outside of this connection. You take the energy you allow into your life seriously, and you expect those in your circle to be on the same wavelength. You've set that boundary firmly, and you're not compromising. As for the masculine, they don't want to be judged for their current state, but deep down, they know they played a major role in how things have unfolded. They're already judging themselves, and when they say, "Don't judge me," it's more about their own self-criticism than anything you've actually done. It also seems like you weren't given a fair chance to decide how you wanted to engage with them. They never really gave you the option to choose if you wanted to be involved. Maybe, from your perspective, what they see as a big deal isn't even that significant, but they never let you decide that for yourself. Now, they're feeling exposed and hoping you won't look down on their journey. This leads to their next message. They see you as rare. This isn't an exaggeration, it's exactly how they feel. I keep hearing, "You changed my life." When you met, there was an instant attraction. Even if there were other feminine energies around, they only had eyes for you. At first, it was a strong physical pull, but as they got to know you, they realized you were different. They might have thought they could handle things the same way they always had, but you are a divine feminine. You operate on a completely different level. When they started engaging with you, they quickly saw that they had to step up their game. The problem was, they weren't fully ready. There were still unhealed parts of them, aspects they hadn't yet evolved from. But instead of acknowledging that, they pushed those things aside and presented a more refined version of themselves. Even though they weren't completely prepared, they knew your energy was rare. So rare that they didn't believe they'd ever find a connection like this again. However, the way you live your life may have caused this connection to fade out. The divine masculine sometimes comes off as detached, like they don't care, but they do. They just struggle to express it. There's a mix of embarrassment and insecurity because they see you as someone out of their league. They wanted to do whatever they could to appeal to you, but deep down, they may have always known they weren't quite ready for someone like you. In trying to keep you close, they weren't fully honest. They didn't let you decide for yourself if this was something you were willing to handle. Instead, they focused on not losing you in the moment, on maintaining their connection to you rather than being upfront. If there's been distance between you, or if communication has faded, it seems like there was once incredible chemistry between you two. But when things started to get serious, when they realized they'd need to level up to match your energy, it became overwhelming for them. Rather than admitting that, they pulled away. Right now, though, their soul isn't letting them rest. There's a strong internal push urging them to make things right. This could be a moment for healing, as this bond runs deep on both sides. It seems like this situation has affected you both more than you've let on. Maybe you've avoided talking about it, or maybe you've tried to downplay its significance. But emotionally, it's clear that this has left a mark. Divine Feminine, depending on how energetically connected you are, you might be picking up on their restlessness. They're having sleepless nights, consumed by the weight of not being honest with you. When they first met you, they stepped into their higher self, thinking, "This is what the Divine Feminine wants. I'm ready for this." But along the way, the unhealed parts of them resurfaced, creating distance and causing the connection to unravel. Now they're deeply reflecting on all of this, struggling with how to fix things. They want to reach out, to explain why they've been distant, but fear of judgment is holding them back. They see you as someone rare, someone they don't want to lose. While they may interact with other feminine energies in their day-to-day life, none of them compare to you. You're irreplaceable to them, and that realization is sinking in hard. They may have already reached out, or will soon. When they do, their energy will likely feel emotional, cautious, or even impulsive. There's a lot of nervousness surrounding this communication because they're afraid of how you'll respond. Their final message: they never saw you coming. They weren't prepared for you. Before you entered their life, they were on a completely different path, living in a way that didn't require them to evolve. But meeting you changed everything. They tried to keep up, to step into their best self. But eventually, their struggles resurfaced, and you saw sides of them that didn't align with the person you first connected with. That left you questioning everything. The physical chemistry was undeniable from the start, and the conversations were intense. But the truth is, they weren't ready for you. Now their soul is pushing them to make things right, to be honest about their feelings and why they've been distant. These emotions run deep, deeper than you might even realize. It's affecting their entire life, and they won't find peace until they face it. So don't be surprised if you hear from them soon. Their approach might feel a bit sudden, but just know that whatever they say, they genuinely want you to hear them out. They're anxious about your reaction, worried about being judged. That's the message I have for you tonight. If this resonates, please like the video on your way out, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.